Hi everyone, I hope you guys are keeping well. Today I'm going to talk about ankle sprain and how you can start your rehab in an early stage and start your rehabilitation right away. Ankle sprain is a common injury that many people experience in some stage in their life, especially if you're active. And in most cases, what I see commonly my patient they overprotecting it in an early stage. But what study and research has shown, if you are keeping the ankle in too much protection after an injury, it become pretty weak and your rehabilitation would be way longer if you keep protecting it. In this video, I'm going to show you a series of exercises that is low impact that you can start that immediately after if you ever had any ankle sprain. Let's get started. If you've never been in this channel, my name is Bob, I'm a physical therapist, and the purpose of this channel is to help people like yourself with simple tips and exercise for quicker recovery. Make sure to subscribe my channel for my weekly update, and if you like this video, press that like button. Before I show you the exercise for this routine, I would like to share with you 3 important tips that you should follow while you're doing these exercises. The tip number 1 would be stopping activities that bothers your basically ankle, which means if you know certain activity like running or jumping does bother your ankle, which it does in the initial stage, try to avoid those activity in an early stage of your injury. The tip number 2 is to try to little bit challenge your ankle, which means you don't want it to overprotect and basically wrap it with so many of those braces, etc. You can use those if you're doing basically some sort of activity. If you're going for a walk, you can use those braces, but I would not suggest that to use that in a long period. Specifically, those braces are useful in an earlier stage to reduce the basically swelling. The tip number 3 is to be consistent with these exercises. You want to follow this exercise once or twice a day in a daily basis for a period of 2 to 3 weeks. Alright guys, to start this rehabilitation routine for your ankle sprain, I would like to share with you, before you start this exercise, there are a couple of things that you can see in my website as a protocol that you should follow. These 2 protocols are no harm and a police protocol. I'm gonna basically put you a link underneath of this video that you can read about these 2 protocols that we follow in acute based injuries. And beside that, you can follow these exercises. Now, the first exercise that I'm going to share with you is going to be active range of motion of your ankle, which means we try to, let's say if I had a sprain on my right side, we try to actively create some sort of movement. This movement can be initially that rotation. You got to follow the range that you have, which means you minimize the movement of your knee and you basically create those rotation. You can do it clockwise and you can go anti-clockwise. If you experiencing ankle sprain, these movements can be a little bit limited because of the swelling in the initial stage, and you want to create that basically rotation, and then you got to look at flexion, a dorsiflexion and a plantar flexion. You can try this movement. Now, how often you can try these exercises? You can try this exercise while you're seated watching TV, a couple of times a day, and it shouldn't actually aggravate your pain. You work around your own pain. I would suggest you to do this exercise in a barefoot because your body actually can feel your foot, and if you're putting it on the ground, you have that basically senses and proprioception. The second exercise that I'm going to show you is going to be basically just working on a seated position. We're going to go for active range of movements, but you loading your basically ankle as well, which means it's like a kind of seated calf raises, and you can do them in both legs, why not? And you try this movement basically for 3 sets of 8 to 12. You can do more than that if you want to, that's not a problem. And as you can see, the muscle around the ankle start to actually work. The same exercise, you can do it in a standing position, which means you can hold on to somewhere and go for standing calf raises. You want to try to do these for 3 sets of 8 to 12. As you can see, I slightly bend my knees. Now, if the ankle feels good, you you can do the same thing in either, like, I wouldn't push it in an earlier stage. I would still do them in kind of like double. After a couple of days, if you find double leg calf raises are fine, you can actually add on like something like a stool into it, which means you get a little bit more stretch of the ankle, which means you put that and you can do the full range. You can do this on the stairs, or if you have a stool like mine, you can definitely use it. You can try this for 3 sets of 8 to 12, couple of rounds through the day. Now, if you want to progress that movement, you can actually do the same exercise in a single leg. I'm going to show you how to do it, which means you can try to go on a single leg calf raises. This would be probably after a week of doing those normal calf raises, and the swelling would be down and you have more strength and a range of movements. Don't rush it straight away to move on to this exercise. Try this a couple of rounds through the day, and while you're doing these exercises, as I mentioned earlier, you can actually ice the ankle before and after in an early stage. Alright guys, we're going to move on to a balance exercise that you can actually add on to your ankle rehabilitation after an ankle sprain. This balance exercise can get basically from easy version, and slowly you can progress it and make it a little more challenging. The initial phase would be just basically standing on the foot that you have the ankle sprain and try to challenge your balance, which means you can just lift the foot a little bit off the ground, and like literally with the other foot, whenever you lost your balance, you can tap it. We can hold it between 10 to 15 seconds. If you like it longer, you can carry on. Now, how can we progress this would be with bringing the opposite foot higher. And as you can see, my foot needs to balance itself more. And those basically small muscles around the ankle need to work more to balance myself. And that's the point of doing the balance exercise. I'm gonna show you another way of progressing it. Rather than to just bring this up, you can actually tap to the side, back and forward. While I'm doing this, I'm slightly bending my knees back, and I try to, let's say, count my taps between, let's say, 8 to 10 in one shot. You can progress it, let's say, to 15 or 20 as you felt more confidence. Now, if you find that is easy, you can actually go to a lower single leg stool squat and challenge your ankle a little bit more. This again goes back to every individual and the degree of your ankle sprain, which means don't rush it, play around with it and slowly build up. Alright guys, in the earliest stage of ankle sprain, many people are trying to overprotect the ankle and avoid weight training while they're experiencing this injury. But what study has shown that you can actually start strengthening the ankle, and that helps you to recover quicker and actually reduce your pain. I'm going to show you a simple exercise that you can do at home and with minimum equipment, and add on a little bit of strength training after your ankle sprain. This exercise called RDLs, which is like literally you can use something as simple as dumbbells, 3-4 kg if you have, that would be great. And you can actually add on this exercise. And the purpose of adding like exercise for somewhere else rather than your ankle is that what a study has shown that if you're adding kind of focusing only around the ankle, which means the proximal muscle, you are not getting the best advantages of your rehab. You want to add on some distal muscle group that actually can help you to create a stronger base after an ankle injury. Now, this exercise called RDLs, which means you can do this with the double leg, and the purpose of this is to strengthen not only the muscle around your foot and your ankle, but mostly the focus of this exercise is to strengthen your hamstring, your glutes, and it does activate your lower back muscle as well. Now, you can start this exercise with double leg, and if you find it is easy, you can move and progress it to single leg. But the single leg can be done probably after a week. As you can see, I'm holding my left foot close to the ground, which means if I need to balance myself, I can tap it and balance myself. And that gives me a chance to do the movement, but at the same time not lose my balance badly. This exercise can be done probably after a week, but at the same time every single person gets different type of injury, and not all the ankle sprains are the same. Depends on your degree of your ankle sprain. You can actually add this exercise to your routine. You can try this for 3 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions initially and slowly build it up. And if you find it is easy, you can progress it to the single leg. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I hope you guys find this video helpful. If you have any question about ankle sprain or ankle injury, you can always leave me comments underneath of this video and I would be happy to help you. Make sure to subscribe my channel for my weekly update, and don't forget to press that like button. If you need further assistance, you can always book me an online consultation and I will be happy to go through a more customized rehab plan for you for quicker recovery. Until next week, all the best.